Then, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello!
Welcome to Movie Chats. It's Thursday night. It's another Thursday night, and thank you for having me back on your show, Steve.
Well, Lana begged me, really, to be honest with you, mate. So.
Yeah, it was either that or go in the pub to play pool. So I was hoping she said pool. No, so apologies for those that have watched last week. I was away at an awards night, so little Steve did an amazing job.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate the support last week.
If you are watching us via Facebook, please move over to YouTube. There's so much more chat that goes on in the sidebar than just listening to me and little Steve going on. So please move over to YouTube, and we'll see you over there. Who have we got in this evening then? Okay, Lana's in. Hey, Pat. Good evening, Catan. We've got Queenie, we've got Tonks, we've got Pete, the monkey fifter, he's in. Hey, Ali. We need to catch up soon. Yeah. So, yeah, how was your week been, mate?
It's not been too bad, bud. I've been on my before off. Obviously, I'm off over the weekend as well because of the move. So, it's not been too bad. I've just been running around and packing. So I'll be glad when all that's over.
Yeah, you seem to be a bit sparse behind you.
Yeah, it used to be where Blu-rays lived, but right now it's just stuff off the floor.
Yeah, Catan spotted it. It looks a bit empty behind you.
Yeah, I would show you, mate, but they're really there's that many boxes. It's scary. You know, we were taking the mick of Chris when we got there, and he was like, "I've only got a few DVDs," and it was about 10 boxes.
Yeah,
I've probably got about 25 so far.
So, I have got a question that I'm going to ask people throughout the show. So have a think about it. Now, the question is, what's your favourite movie scene of all time? Okay, now I know that's a big ask.
You can't just throw that in.
Oh, well, I mentioned this on Monday. I did put a post out on Monday that I was going to ask this question. So, what's your favourite movie scene of all time? Now, we'll come back to that one in Free for All. Because, like I say, that's the big question just to throw in at the start of the show. I hope CathE and Cherry are on because we did have two of their films suggested for homework. We've had The Time Bandits and we had Hush. Now, I did manage to watch 1.5 of those films, but we'll talk about.
I watched them both.
Well,
you had 2 weeks. You had 2 weeks.
You've got a proper job, though, Steve. I don't get
2 weeks.
Right. So, shall we jump into?
Put it down there, please.
Where do we go? Should we go the year review first, Steve? Okay, so let's spice this up a little bit this week. We'll go year review first before homework. The year was 1981. Now, I'm not going to lie. I did struggle with 1981 a little bit.
Very much so.
So, should I put you out your misery? Because you're not going to guess who the highest grossing actors are for that year.
I mean, I would have had it. I would have had it, but no, it's all right. Go on.
Okay, go on. Well, let's ask the question. Highest grossing actors of 1981. Let's see if the chat can get any of them.
Any of them.
Any of them. Now, if you've watched any of our early 80s shows before this, there's one name that pops up quite regularly, so they should get that one.
I was looking through the list and I was like, I really struggled. I said to you, most times I'm struggling to keep it under 10. This time I was struggling to keep it over 5 or over 4. Sorry. Hey, David.
So Peter's gone with Harrison Ford. That's a no. Ali Stallone, no. Lana John Travolta, no. These are all names I would have assumed would have been in an early 80s top 4. However, should we go through the list? Number 4 was Clint Eastwood. Number 3 is our usual suspect, Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Number 2 was Jean Belushi. And number 1, can you guess who number 1 is? No, it's not Bill Murray, not Mel Gibson.
You look good, you father. Do you mean that?
Shocking.
Yeah.
Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda. I said to you, I would never have guessed that.
No, Denzel Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, Morgan Freeman, Cletus. No, Tonks is just listing off a load of people there. Yeah. Top 4 highest grossing movies of 1981. Do you want to hazard a guess?
No.
No? Okay. Number 4 was James Bond film.
No.
Okay.
You say that's lucky.
It was the Bond. Sean Connery.
I never looked that far into it. You know me, I'm not really a big Bond fan. For Your Eyes Only.
That's Roger Moore, isn't it?
Number 3 was Cannonball Run. Number 2 was Stripes.
Yeah.
That was your Bill Murray film. Number 1, I'll let you have a guess at number 1. No, it wasn't Live and Let Die. It wasn't Rocky. Yeah, For Your Eyes Only, Pete. Yeah.
Mad Max 2? Oh.
No. It is a sequel. It is a number 2.
Is it like Halloween 2 or?
No. Who am I on our thingy?
On our thingy?
Yeah, our thumbnail for the joint shows. Who am I?
Oh, okay. I don't know, actually. You're Batman, aren't you?
No, you're Batman. It shows how much attention
I'm
you
Batman. So that's Superman 2, is it?
Superman 2, yeah.
That was not the same year.
Superman 2, according to the records, was the highest grossing movie of 1981. Evening, Z.
1980 film.
Star was 1981, highest grossing movie of 1981. It must have crossed over, mate. It must have been released in October.
You see that?
It must have been released in like a November or December or something.
Hang on.
Warren
Australia. That's why. It says Australia, 4th of December 1980. UK and United States, April the 9th, 1981 in the UK, and June the 19th in the United States.
There you go. See?
Well, that's just made my list very fucking easy.
Have you now just got your 5th film?
Yeah. But you can't guess what it is.
Warren Beatty was the best director for a film called Reds. Never heard of it. However, should we move into your newly crowned top 5, Steve?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Oh, Lana, all your films are number 2s. Yeah, cheers, mate.
So I've got a top 5. You know, I just want to point that out. Mad Max 2, Road Warrior.
Yeah.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones. American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
One of the ones that I was going on about with the Steelbook the other day, Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm.
The Evil Dead. And then at number 1, I put Superman 2.
Yay. Hey,
It was made to be.
Hey, Shabba. Right, well, my top 5 for that year: Clash of the Titans, Escape from New York,
Yeah.
Escape to Victory.
Okay.
That's the football one. If you didn't
Yeah, I know. I know.
Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Mhm.
and Evil Dead. I think that year just picks itself. There was lots of horror movies in that year, wasn't there? There was definitely a lot of sequels in that year.
Well, like I said, I mean, for me, I saw it on VHS, The Evil Dead, and it was in the 90s. Because I went round to a mate's and his uncle was like, let's put this on. I was like shitting myself, but it was a really good movie. But yeah, it's a good movie. And then American Werewolf in London, I think I saw in the 90s as well, when I sort of got round to watching that. Mad Max 2, a couple of years ago, I didn't watch the Mad Max movies until I think the new one came out. And everyone was saying that obviously they were really good, so I watched them. But would you go Superman 1 or Superman 2?
Which one was better?
Yeah.
1.
So why?
Because it was the first one. Now, that doesn't always translate, that sentence, because it was the first one. That doesn't always translate into the discussion. But Superman over Superman 2.
Right, I'm going to ask the chat, because I think 2's better than 1. So, who prefers Superman 2 over Superman 1?
Is that just because they've had more time to perfect Superman's flying? For example, he's not getting pulled along on a tray on wheels, or just sitting on top of a bench or something like that. You know, they can actually use like effects to make him fly. Yeah, so have a think, guys. What was better, Superman 1 or Superman 2?
We'll just crack on. But if anybody, I mean, there might be people out there that prefer Superman 3. But I mean, the Superman 3, the blooming computer in that scared the shit out of me when I was younger.
Well, that was the one with Richard Pryor in, wasn't it?
Yeah, when the computer turned that woman into a robot.
Yeah. That I think that's the one of Catan's talking.
Hey, Rich.
About. Hey, Rich. Yeah. So the only part of Superman 3 I didn't like was the whole computer game bit where the missiles and the firing.
Yeah, that didn't stood up today, has it? Jesus Christ! Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I did have some mentions. Obviously, Mad Max, Superman. I've got Gundam, because it was the early 80s, was the start of the manga revolution, wasn't it?
You've got one that's got
So when you've got like the Gundam films, and then you've got like Akira and stuff like that in the early 80s, that was like the Japanese manga sort of era starting to come through. I've got Stripes, and this one might surprise you, actually. I've gone with The Fox and the Hound.
Okay.
Yeah, I went with Fox and the Hound. But yeah, like I say, I really struggled with 1981.
Yeah, I expected a few more blockbusters, but I think it was just they were there or thereabouts, weren't they?
Yeah.
I think like with 82, 3, and probably 80 is going to be easier than 81. 81 just seemed like a lot of horror films and I'd say action films, but not really of any note that I can remember.
No, and like I say, it was definitely another year for sequel.
Yeah,
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 Halloween
yeah,
and Friday the 13th, and
yeah, Friday the 13th Part 2. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, it's definitely a year for the sequel. All right, let's move on to homework, shall we?
cool.
Okay, so one of our homework movies was actually in the year for review, which was Time Bandits, and that was suggested to us by CathE 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I am not surprised we never mentioned it in our year for review then, to be fair, because I used to love Time Bandits and it used to have a special place in my heart, that film, growing up. But I put it on the other day and got halfway through it and I thought, this hasn't aged well at all. And I can't, for the life of me, think why I had that film in such high regard. But when you look at the cast is supposed to be amazing.
Well, this is it. I mean, I enjoy them sort of films, you know, like the Willow and stuff like that as well. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've had it in my collection for a while, and it's obviously it's obviously got a following. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been in the collection that it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that maybe if I'd have watched it about 10 years before, it might have been a bit different. You know, but it was okay. It weren't amazing. It was okay, but yeah.
I don't know if I was just watching it, or even if I did watch it as a kid. Was it just on and I just enjoyed having it on? I don't know. There's just something I just couldn't connect with the film again, and I just decided it wasn't for me this time around. However, the other one that we've got to watch was Hush. There was a film from 2016, and the storyline behind that is that a deaf-mute writer goes and lives in the woods so she can finish writing a book. She's struggling to write a final chapter. And then a killer kills a neighbor and then goes on a rampage and just decides she's next. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. There's parts of it, and especially with it being deaf and mute, there's not like a lot of sound, and you hear all the knocks and stuff like that, and she doesn't react to it obviously because she doesn't hear.
No, it's on Netflix as well.
Yeah, so she's only seeing him in the shadows and stuff like that, isn't it? She doesn't realize that he's in the house and whatever else because she can't hear him. But yeah, that is brilliant. That film is superb. Cherry, you did well there. Keep pushing that film for weeks, and we finally got round to watching it. And
it's a thriller, isn't it?
It was brilliant.
Hey, I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, it took me a little while to get into it. I think once it started going, the guy, that I won't say killer, any that the person that's stalking her or whatever is he's pretty brutal. He is.
Yeah.
When he's sort of outside with that guy and he's going, oh, there's a key under the rock, you know, and you're thinking, okay, so he's probably going to get smacked in the head here with a rock, and it just out of nowhere just stabs the guy in the neck.
No, I was pleasantly surprised. I liked the read of it when I read it. That got me, and then when I was watching it today, I was just like, yeah, it was really, really good. I did enjoy it. Evening, Pete. You all right, mate?
It's the fact that she's having to use her disability against him, really.
Yeah. I was intrigued what the little smirk was at the end of the film, though. is it setting up a second one, or is she just thinking, right, I've actually got the ending of my story here?
For example, we're what 6 years down the line, so if they've not brought out a sequel by now, I don't think there is one.
You can't go on about that. They're talking about bringing sequel back for films that are 40 years ago, mate. You know, they've got plenty of time to write one. But yeah, at the end, when the police turn up and everything, you know, she sat there or she stood there smirking, and I was just like, right, okay, that's interesting. And I did like the way that her inner voice was talking her through. Shall I run? Shouldn't I run? What was going to happen to me and stuff like that. I thought that was
yeah. Cool. Yeah, it was like I say, it was a good movie. And it's not a massively long one either as well.
No.
Yeah, it was okay. It was a good choice. Good choice by Cherry.
Yeah.
I think the actor who played the bad guy in it was good.
Yeah, definitely. Right, let's do the wheel.
Okay.
Let me share the screen. Chrome tabs, review. There we go. So, have we got it on?
It's coming. It's coming. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Have we had 91 before?
I don't think we have, because I usually remove it straight away.
Right, okay. 1991.
Here we go. 91.
I'm hoping there's a lot more on that one.
Yeah, 91. Good year. Yeah, I'm hoping so, Dave. Like I say, I struggled with this one, but the 90s were usually all right.
The 90s were usually all right.
Yeah, so it's a shame that Cherry and CathE aren't in tonight, and you know one of them's picked a really good one, and the other one's got another week in Movie Chat's prison.
Well, let's just say it was relatively easy because I had one on Blu-ray already, so that was fine, and then the other one I could get on Netflix, so it was a good week or two.
Right.
Go on.
I'm just thinking, have we had 91? Oh, I don't think we have. I'll have to go back and have a look. If we have had 91, I'll spin it and I'll. No, you know what? Sorry, we'll just do it again.
No. Let's just check it first. No, we haven't.
No,
we definitely haven't.
All right, cool. Right, pickups of the week. In this case, pickups of the fortnight because we haven't done it, have we? So here we go.
No.
Right, so in this segment of the show, for those that are joining us or haven't seen us before, we talk about what we've picked up. Could be movie related, just anything cool that we want to share or whatever. Put in the comments what you guys have picked up as well, because I am interested in people's collections building and stuff like that. This last fortnight, we've been all over the Northwest, really.
You've been out, have you?
Yeah. So we went to Preston and we went to see the Wallace and Gromit statue. Didn't really pick anything up in Preston. It's a bit of a dead town centre, I think. Sorry for guys that are in Preston, but there's not really much going on. Then we stopped off at a lovely little village in Garstang. We went to the roasting joint. And got our dinner from the roasting joint, and then we stopped off to see Z. Unfortunately, as we were in the queues, he was nipping out, so we ended up having a good chat with Bex. But don't worry, guys, we will be back. So from Z store, I picked up a little Slimer keychain.
I'm getting deja vu here.
And I got a Terminator figure.
Ah, the Terminator figure.
Yeah, that's it. Let me put myself on big screen so you can see it. There you go. Terminator figure.
That's cool.
Yeah, and the little Slimer keychain. Now, one of the other things I did pick up was Captain Keys. Now, I had my eye on this for a while on his store, and I just never got around to picking it up. But then when I was in the shop, it was a toss-up between that or one of the Tiny Toons Ashes. And all I could say is that I was sort of lucky that Lana was with me, keeping me in track, because I would have come out with loads of stuff.
I'm sure Z wouldn't have minded.
No,
I'm sure he'd be like, yeah, mate, off you go, ta-ra.
Yeah. Bex was laughing because Lana kept telling me to put stuff back.
Put it down.
Put it down. We don't need it. Where's that going? Now, we then went from Garstang to Blackpool, and that's where we were staying for a couple of days. And then we went on the video. I did say it was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but it wasn't Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It was what's that one with Noel Edmonds?
Deal or No Deal.
Deal or No Deal. That was it. And it was £5 for 2 boxes. And this is what I won: a little steak puff.
You paid a £5 for it.
I paid the £5 for it, and then when we got it, and Lana turned the back of the packaging over, it had a £3.50 price tag on it. So typical Blackpool. And then on the way back, we stopped off at Southport, where I bought the Green Mile.
Yeah.
And Shawshank Redemption.
Watched that today, yeah.
Yeah. And then we were... Where did we pick this one up? Gran Torino. We went somewhere else anyway, and I picked Gran Torino up.
Yeah.
I thought, you can't have a Blu-ray or DVD collection without those 3 films in it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know? So my little collection's getting bigger each week.
I'm sure Lana loves it. Absolutely loves it.
She does. She has told me I'm not to compete with you in collections because I'm miles behind you.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, Lana says we have done 1991. It was one of our first live shows.
There you go then. So spin again. Mister, I take it off every time.
Ah, do you know why I would have done it that way?
No.
Because we had it on we didn't have the wheel to start off with, did we?
Okay. Thanks, Lana.
So I know I'm not sharing it, but
It
don't
could be
worry.
anything.
The year the world was meant to end, 2012.
Okay. Let's try that one. Now, if you remove 1991.
Yeah, and 2012.
Jeez.
Ah, right. See, I'm going to talk about this in a bit, Rich.
Oh, do we have to? Can we not just leave it? You've done a video about it. If nobody wants to know about it.
No, we need to talk about it.
No, we don't.
I'll talk about it in a minute. It is awesome.
Oh my lord! Right, so let's focus on me for a little bit, shall we?
Do we have to? We focused on you last week.
Well, yeah. I mean, theoretically, I should not be picking up anything at all because the more I'm packing away, the more I'm buying. But I picked up. I'll go through a couple of DVDs first because the only reason I picked these up is some of them are a bit rare for me. So I got Jingle All the Way and Jingle All the Way 2. I did not know number 2 existed.
Yeah, it's Larry the Cable Guy, isn't it?
Yeah, it says Larry the Cable Guy. So the second I saw that, I was like, right, I'll see how bad that is. I got Halloween 5, Revenge of Mike Myers.
Yeah.
As I said to you before I started, I picked this up for £1.50. I've got the box set of it, which obviously is exactly the same thing, but this is just like a DVD, 6 DVDs in one small box.
Tonks.
What's that?
Tonks, he's cheating. I don't cheat.
I found this in a charity shop.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked that up. This is one I've never heard of before, which is a Steve Guttenberg film called
Home Team. I've
Yeah.
seen that.
Have you?
Yeah.
This one is just because it's purely one of my favourite bands. Just the DVD of it.
That Home Team one, if you read the
Yeah.
back of it, is that the one where they're in the kids' home and they play football so they grow the confidence and stuff?
I'm guessing so.
Yeah,
If you can.
that's the one. Yeah, you're getting your Steve Guttenberg feel good family movie.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I obviously picked up some steelbooks, which have now, after showing them on that video, I've packed them away, which is always good. But that was like Captain America and Captain America Winter Soldier. I got a couple of others, which are the Blu-rays, which is I picked up the Matrix Resurrections for the collection. I picked up the new one coming out soon, Beetlejuice in 4K.
Yeah.
And then got this one, which is There Will Be Blood, which is like Daniel Day-Lewis. Now, the next few, I sort of accidentally went on a bit of an Arrow video binge.
Right,
So I've got.
hang on. You are aware we are actually moving you next week.
Now, I'm aware that I am actually moving me next week.
Right. So me and Chris are coming to help you move stuff out of storage.
Yeah,
So-
this isn't storage. It's in the house. Don't count.
Right. Okay. Can you stop?
If it's not out of here, by the
Can you
time
stop-
you come, there's a problem.
Can you stop buying stuff?
Yeah. So anyway, I bought a load of boxes to put stuff in. So, anyway,
DVD boxes do not count.
right. Will you stop interrupting me? I got Hounds of Love, which is a 2016 movie
Yeah.
with Arrow Video. I got. I've never seen this, but it actually looks really good. Southland Tales,
Yeah, it's all right.
which is again another Arrow one. Now, these two, I bought these together. I bought them on the Tinterweb on eBay, and I got into a bit of a bidding war. So the actual versions of these are out of print, and they come up when I was looking around. They come up, and I was like, oh, okay, they finish in 20 minutes or whatever, so I'll keep an eye on them. So I bid to a certain amount. Oh, sorry, I left it, and then I bid about 20 seconds before the end. And I got outbid, so I bid again, and then realised, although I haven't overpaid for them, I paid more than I wanted to, and that is the Hills Have Eyes and the Hills Have Eyes 2.
You
So these
got into a bidding war over the Hills of Eyes.
Yes, I did. To be fair, I've never seen the second one, but
This is shit.
you're not helping. You're really not helping. Hang on.
Straight.
Sorry, guys, I've had to mute him because he's talking rubbish. So these two here, they are, like I said, they're bigger box collection. So I've got me little booklets in there and all sorts of stuff. How did you unmute yourself? But yeah, I got into a bit of a bidding war, and afterwards I was sort of like, that's probably more than I wanted to pay. But yeah, they came really quickly, so I'm chuffed with them. But that I'm getting a lot more.
My name's Steve, and I'm a collectaholic.
I've got more Arrow movies to go in my collection now, so whatever.
Cheeky. Do you know what? I don't get a word in edgeways when I'm at home. That's why I come on here and talk so much.
Yeah, see, Peter, I had to. They came together. Now, obviously, like I say, because they are out of print, you can't buy them in this carnation of the Arrow thing that I'm aware of. So you can buy the movies on their own. You could probably pay about the same price just for the 2 movies. You could always. Oh, cack him. I heard Joanne. Oh, brilliant.
Bring out
Yeah,
the
so when I bought the first one, obviously the second one came with it. So, but it'll look nice in the collection.
Right.
So I think that's pretty much it.
Right. Well, some good pickups there, Steve. Some good pickups. Like I say, I'm be intrigued when we do get to yours and we start unpacking the stuff what we can find. Because
Well, this is it. You're here primarily just to alphabetize my Blu-rays.
no, that's your next 26 videos, isn't it?
It's going to take 26 videos to alphabetize my Blu-rays. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to have to all these units. I've had to unscrew them now, but I'm going to have to screw them all to the walls so he doesn't pull them over.
Right.
Above there, really.
Yeah, some good pickups there, Steve.
Yeah, like I say, what not planned at all.
I'm looking forward to having a look when we get there about when we unpack it all. Let's move on to free throw. So this is the segment, guys, where you're more than welcome to come on and take the show in whichever direction you want to take it in. But first,
if you don't come on, we're going to end up talking about Halo.
So we were talking a couple of months ago about the Scarlett Johansson suing Disney over the release.
Yeah.
So I'm reading it, and there's big news coming out about the release of the new Mission Impossible film.
Okay, yeah.
Where HBO want 45 days in the cinema before they bring it out onto the streaming site, but Tom Cruise wants a 90-day window. So we get some more ticket revenue before it goes to streaming site.
Yeah.
What's the best way to release a movie blockbuster now? Because we used to have straight to DVD, didn't we? Which is the next point I want to move on to in a minute.
Yeah.
We used to have straight to DVD. Now you've got cinema or straight to streaming or streaming only and mixed. If you were a movie producer, which way would you want to do it?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is that the problem that you've got for me is that obviously to get to a wider audience, then it's put it on a streaming site. But the revenue, surely you don't make anywhere near what the revenue would be if it was in cinemas first. Surely, I mean, I don't know. It depends how much they charge these cinema chains, really.
Well, I'm assuming taking HBO Max, for example, which is HBO's streaming service.
Yeah. Then
you're going to have your subscription charges, aren't you? But then you're not going to have, unless they do what Disney do, where there's a separate charge for the HBO movies. But then you haven't got the distribution cost, then have you? It's just yours. You're not paying I know people buy the rights to show it in the cinema and stuff, but you still got costs associated to run that, haven't you?
I mean, this is another thing for me. I remember, like, back in the day, I'm sure it was like with Sky. Now, obviously, we've upgraded our package. We've renewed our package on Sky. Sky Virgin. But for some reason, I ended up getting the movie channels as well. And I think this week I've been sat there watching movies that I definitely have in my collection. I've seen 100 times before, but I was very surprised just how, like, some of the movies that were on there. Like there was a Suicide Squad. I was watching that last night, and that doesn't seem that long ago that came out. There's been a couple of others, but I wonder if they're competing with, the sort of streaming sites to try and get these movies out a little bit earlier.
Yeah. So I've been talking the last couple of weeks about what am I doing with mine, and I made a decision on Monday when I spoke to O2 was to get rid of my Amazon Prime. That's now gone.
Right.
However, I did speak to a lovely bloke at O2, and I got another 6 months free subscription to Disney Plus.
So how are you viewing that then?
He just renewed my Disney Plus subscription. He just put 6 months on for me.
Okay, but is that not?
So I get it through O2.
Yeah.
It was originally meant to be 12 months free.
Yeah.
And each time it's come up, they just keep renewing it for me for free, so I'm not paying for it.
Bloody hell.
So it's supposed to come. It's supposed to come off my airtime. So it's supposed to be $7.99 a month, but I get £2 back off my airtime. So it's $5.99. But each time that I do it, I just keep getting 6 months free added on. And I had a lovely bloke on Monday, and he just
Hey,
went,
Andrew.
I had a lovely bloke on Monday, and he just went, "Yeah, do you want another 6 months of Disney if you're getting rid of Amazon?" Yeah, go on then. I'm bosh done.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I've had a couple of decent people that I spoke to Virgin recently, so I can't complain with that. But it just surprised me how quickly it got out to the services, really. But I don't know. I don't know, because I was under the impression that you'd go to the cinemas and then literally like a year later, that's when you'd sort of get your physical media releases. And then I know for normal TV, it's sort of 3 years down the line before something comes on.
It seems now it's in the cinema.
Yeah.
6 weeks. And then it's on your pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And then the Blu-ray release or the DVD release.
I mean,
is practically as soon as it goes pay-per-view, it's in Asda.
I mean, look at that now. You've got Spider-Man No Way Home. Far From Home? No Way Home.
No Way Home.
You've got that. You can buy that now on like your subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
I know it. I think the release of the Blu-ray is the 4th of April, which obviously will be winging its way to me at some point. But that came out was it December?
Mm.
You know, so it's only talking sort of 4 months or so down the line, and this thing's. I mean, it's not even that. It's been out last week or two on the. It's always coming up as an advert on my Virgin, saying that I can buy it. So it's just so quick.
So we went talking the other week about Nicolas Cage films when I was saying Face Off is probably the better film at Connor. I know you had a different view last week when I wasn't here to defend it, but you know, Face Off.
Why are we talking about this? It's old news now. It's old news.
Face Off is the better film.
However, it's old news.
Nicolas Cage.
It's been killing you for 7 days.
No.
It has. It's been killing you.
We were talking about him doing some really shit films as of late, and he just seems to say yes to everything else. But he was on an interview this week, and he says the reason why he's been saying yes to everything that he's been doing is because he's been paying his mum's medical bills.
Oh, no, I feel bad.
So he went back. He must have went bankrupt after Snake Eyes, and then because that was.
But let's be honest, that isn't like he's getting paid £9 an hour, is it?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, his most medical bills would probably be 2 films at most, especially in America, because obviously everything's like full cost over there, isn't it?
Yeah, but it depends on what he's sick with.
If he's had to do 10 years worth of really shit films to pay for it, I feel bad for him.
Yeah. Anyway, right. So, what have we been watching this week?
Well, I'm just trying to think now. The last couple of days, like I say, there was a Fast and Furious I watched. I think that was number 6. Then I've had Shawshank Redemption today. I've had Hush today. What was it I watched this morning? There was something else I had on, because I've been packing stuff in the house, so I had the TV on downstairs when I was doing it. But I also I've watched Grown Ups 2 today.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched Grown Ups last night. I was absolutely howling at Grown Ups, the first one. I forgot how funny it was. It is so funny. Literally got to a point where Luke came downstairs. She was like, "What are you laughing at?" I was like, "Just this film, man. It's just so funny." But the cast is awesome in them. But what else have I watched?
So here's my list of what I've watched this week. Right. So the latest episode of Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
The latest episodes of Picard.
Yeah.
We've actually watched Trigger Point. We give Trigger Point a go.
Any good?
It's all right. Yeah, it was a bit slow at the beginning.
Yeah.
But if you persevere with it through the first 2 episodes, it gets really, really good. It just pick up. Films wise, I've watched Guns Akimbo. That was a
I remember you did it, didn't you?
Yeah, I never seen that before, but that was quite good. I rewatched The Tomorrow War.
Okay.
I quite like Scott Adkins films, so I ended up watching Hard Target 2.
Okay.
Chappie,
I've not seen that in ages.
Chappie's a little bit of a mix between Short Circuit and RoboCop. Meets Look Who's Talking. That's how I'd sum that up. That was quite good. Hush, obviously for homework.
Yeah.
And then I watched Black Ball.
Sorry, what?
Black Ball. Remember the one?
Black Ball. Yeah.
Dennis Pennis and he's green bowling. Yeah. I forgot how funny that film was.
Well, like I say, it was a complete surprise to me last night, Grown Ups, because I've not seen it in a while. And it was always like Grown Ups and then the Hot Tub Time Machine guys. It's one of those that you watch every so often, but I was absolutely howling, mate. Honestly, they're so funny. The second one's not as good as the first one, but yeah. And I found it quite apt, really, because the premise of the story, especially on Grown Ups, is that the kids don't know how to go out and have a good time and play and it's just interesting because obviously I'm getting of that age where my kids are exactly the same, especially my eldest. He'll sit there and play his games all day if you'd let him.
Well, the other one for me that's along that same vein is Role Models.
Yeah.
I quite enjoy Role Models. And of course, the big one that I watched today was Halo. Now, I've been waiting for a live action Halo for fucking years.
A while.
Now we've got it. I was amazed. The trailer doesn't do it justice.
I went into a charity shop today, and I saw a book behind the counter of Halo. I weren't sure. I think it was a normal sort of reading book.
Yeah,
I didn't know that they were sort of a thing. To be honest, it seemed quite a thick one as well. Just said Halo on the side.
Yeah, Andrew, the new series launched today on Paramount Plus. But if you've got Xbox Live and you're an Xbox Live subscriber via Game Pass, you get the Halo series for free.
Oh, right.
So Xbox and Microsoft have done a deal with Paramount Plus. It's only 9 episodes, the series. The first one, the pilot one, launched this week. But you can get a 30-day trial, which gives you access to the Halo for free.
Wow.
So yeah, if you signed up for Xbox Game Pass, you get Paramount Plus 30 days free trial while they launch Halo.
That's not bad, is it?
It's not bad. So I didn't watch it on I didn't watch it on Xbox Live. I watched it on something else. But my God, it was amazing.
You feel like that all day. He needed to get that out of his system, guys. Even if one video about it wasn't enough.
Do you know what to make it worse is that I had to edit that video about 5 times because Paramount Plus kept flipping copyright claimed against the video.
Do you know what? If I've deleted it now, but I was saying to you on the phone the other day when I did that video of the steelbooks, I was adamant I'd do it because I know I said to David I'd do it. I was like, I've got to do it, and I kept looking at it thinking, well, I can't move any of my Blu-rays until I've done it. So I'd said to Lou one night, I was like, look, I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to do this video. I'll be about half an hour or so. Literally, I got to I did. Oh, that was the other thing as well. I didn't want to edit it. I'm not confident at editing yet. So that was the last thing I want to do. A lot of my videos will run regardless of how bad they are. So I literally got to 32.5 minutes, and I had about 6 left out of the 80 or whatever it is I've got. And all I heard was Lou bouncing up the stairs because Leo was running up the stairs, trying to shout him down. And I'm like, I can't believe this. Literally, I was trying to sort of focus, thinking you might not hear it, and it got to sort of outside the door, and I was like, right, I'm gonna have to stop it now. And I literally had to stop it and then do the same thing again the day after because I didn't want to edit it. So I literally, and again, it only went to, I think it was like 39 minutes or something. So I was so close to the bloody end of it, but it's difficult. Like what I found, obviously, I was a bit chesty that day because I've got a bit of a cold at the minute. But it was talking for 40 minutes straight. It was difficult. I'd love to do like a series of videos from A to Z of what I've got in my collection, but it would take so long. It would be unbelievably long. I'm not even sure I'm going to get to do that.
That's where the pause button comes in handy on your video.
Oh yeah, and like I say, I might do it one day, because that's ultimately what I would like to do is show people everything I've got, like a yearly review or whatever. But yeah, it was the longest video I've done, obviously, other than a stream. But I was so annoyed that I got so close to the end of that video and I had to start it again the next day. Mm-hmm. It was mental.
So if there's one piece of homework I need to give you this week, is that you've got to at least watch the pilot episode of Halo before I get down to you next week.
Okay. The pilot episode.
Yeah. Now, the best thing about it is that you don't need to have played any of the games or understood any of the story beforehand. It does help, but you know, it is entry level. Just go and watch it. Entry level.
Yeah. It is for the simpletons.
Yeah, it is for the simpletons.
Well, I know you did incredibly well not giving anything away.
Well, it was killing me. It was killing me after me letting it slip about the Joker being in the Batman and being the most hated man on Facebook for about 2 weeks.
Keep mentioning it, mate. Just why don't you just tell everybody who's not seen that clip on the post?
But yeah, I enjoyed The Last Kingdom, Shabba. The last series has just been on Netflix, hasn't it? I binge watched it the first day it was released. Yeah, I do enjoy The Last Kingdom. It was interesting because the town that it's filmed or he's based in Runcorn is the town that I'm from. So, there you go. Yeah. So, Witness is in the shape of a dog's nose, and it's Viking for dog with big nose, and that's the shape of Witness. There you go. Which is better, Picard? Now you've got.
Oh God! Why have you brought him onto this, Shabba?
Now you've
got there's certain things you don't mention, otherwise he goes on a 10-minute rant.
Picard season 2 is just picking up now, and I do like Q's little involvement. I do like how Q just keeps popping up every now and then, and no one else has seen him. Halo, I've just been waiting for that for so long. I'd have to say, after the disappointment of Picard season 1, Halo just blew it out of the water. Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it. Yeah.
Oh.
Now, the question I asked at the start of the show: what is your favorite movie scene of all time? Come on, you've had almost an hour now.
I was just laughing at Tonks's 2 months later without sleep. He's still going at 30% through his A to Z. It's very true. It is very true. I'd have to take leave from work just to be just just to go through it all. I'll be like, I need 3 months off at least.
They'll just hook you up to a drip of Red Bull.
Yeah. Well, no, that'd kill me, mate. So thanks for that. But
so come on, your favourite movie scene of all time, guys. If I am putting the link in the chat, so please feel free to come and join us. And
I don't know. I don't. Do you know what? I'm going to stick by what I said in my in my video with Steelbooks. You know, my two favourite movies sort of growing up was obviously Back to the Future and The Karate Kid. I think probably where he does the crane kick at the end of The Karate Kid. That when that song sort of the tune, if you like, kicks in, it's a bit like Terminator, you know, when you hear that music and it's like you instantly know this is the thing. I think that bit at the end where he does the crane kick, because the thing is that Back to the Future, the whole thing's great, and I loved it when I was younger. I loved it, the fact that you watched number 2, and it had. Because they filmed them back to back, it had like a trailer for the third one, like straight off the bat. It was almost like it was incorporated as part of the movie. So you sort of knew that it was going to be in the Wild West. But there's many scenes that I will sit and watch over and over again. If I stick true, I'll stick true to my 2 favourite films. So I'll go with The Karate Kid crane kick.
Okay. To answer your question, Peter, no, I haven't, but I haven't got a big enough collection for me to start worrying about that yet. However, I did send it.
You sent it to me.
I sent it to you, yeah.
That was a bit random, so I was like, why is he sending me that?
I did explain to you when you're unpacking it, scan it, so you've got you start recording what you've got.
There isn't enough battery on my phone to go through that. I'll definitely try. I'll need to try it, don't I? Mm-hmm. It would help. Definitely would help. So I need to do something. I had a friend of mine recommend one a few years back, but at that point, I probably had about 4,000, so it wasn't nowhere near what it is now.
Mm-hmm. So I asked Lana the same question. What was her favourite movie scene of all time?
Oh, yeah.
And the one she came back with was either a scene from Kevin and Perry or... There's a scene in Mr. Bean's Holiday where he's dancing to raise money to make the phone calls.
So, Kevin and Perry, let me sort of think. Which, you see that, I'm just trying to think of that film and sort of think which one would be the best bit. I mean, you've got, is it the bit at the end where they're actually DJing? Yeah. So it's not the football popping.
The bit for me in Kevin and Perry, if we were talking of favourite scenes out of Kevin and Perry, will be the beach scene.
Where she's pictured it's a float.
Where they're walking through the water and they're shouting about seeing the girls and everyone can hear them because they've got the headphones on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should she have a poo in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great movie, that, isn't it? And the soundtrack's really cool. I don't think I've ever come across the soundtrack.
The soundtrack was done by what's the DJ's name? It was a famous DJ, wasn't it?
It'll probably be on Spotify.
DJ.
It'll probably be on Spotify, won't it?
Yeah. Lana's saying where they showed the sex tape in the nightclub.
All I want to do is do it.
Oh, that's going to do my head in now. The bloody DJ's name.
You say that though. There was a mixture, wasn't there?
Yeah, but it was put together by the same DJ, wasn't it?
Oh, I see what you mean now. I was going to say. There's quite a few. You got the Eyeball Paul team. I'm about to listen to that for this.
Begins with T. What the flipping hell was this?
In the Fast and Furious, when Ludacris calls Paul Walker to get there in 4 minutes, and the whole scene. I think I like in the Fast and the Furious. I like the where he's talking to him after, he's like, I almost had you, and he's like, doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile, winning's winning.
Yeah.
And then the bit at the end, like I said, I've got the cars. I love the cars. I went on a bit of a goose chase trying to find one of them. I was ringing up every Asda to try and find it because they were selling them.
Eyeball Paul, yeah, Paul Eiffel.
Eyeball Paul.
Reese Eiffel, isn't it? Eyeball Paul. Yeah.
When the bikes take off in AT, yeah. That's another classic scene, isn't it?
Star Trek 3.
So it's like fucking Uncle Albert with During the War, but when I went to Disney and to Universal and that, there was an ET ride. I don't know if it's still there, but they'd take your name at the start, and then at the end of it, he'd wave bye bye to you and say your name. But that was wicked because you go on the bikes. But yeah, that was cool. That.
Yeah, that is quite true. That Pete. Kirk goes to Scotty, is all your repair times multiples of 2? And he goes, yes, that's how you keep your reputation of being a miracle worker. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have it done in 4 hours for you. You've got make it 2. Brilliant. Judge Jules. Yeah, I knew it was put together by a famous DJ. It was.
Oh, hey, what's this one, Shabba? Hey man, you're bleeding. I ain't got time to bleed. Guess the film.
Hey man, you're bleeding. I've not got time to bleed. Was it Predator?
I was going to say, is it a Schwarzenegger movie? I don't know. Is it a Schwarzenegger movie, that? I've heard it, but I don't.
You're bleeding.
I'm sure there's probably. It'd be easy to reel off sort of 5 to 10 favourite scenes, wouldn't
it? Yeah, No, Pete's saying Predator.
Is it Predator, Shabba? I said Commando's got some good one-liners in on it. That was funny. Some good ones in that. 1 point to Big Steve. Yeah, it was Predator.
No, it's an interesting question. There's a few that come to my head. There's like I say, there's the space battle in Star Trek 2 between the Reliant and the Enterprise.
Yeah.
There's the drop pod scene in Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Where you see all the mobile infantry running into the drop pods, and then you see them actually drop to Planet P.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously Prime's death in Transformers the movie. That's a great scene.
I know the council has said you need to open up about that.
Yeah.
Talk more about it and accept it.
Yeah. But there's another film that I really do enjoy where there was a great scene in it. And it's Star Trek 6. And it's just where it's that last scene where they're on Kittimer and they're talking through the plot and stuff like that. And I thought it's a really great way of finishing the film. And then when he says, second start to the writing straight until morning, it's brilliant. And it was only recently because I was on Chris's, because I know the quote from Star Trek 6, but it was only recently when I was on Chris's eBay that he's got a t-shirt or a shirt with that quote on, and I didn't realise it was from Peter Pan.
Well, yeah, and it's also in Hook.
Yeah, well, it's Peter Pan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Peter Pan says it. That's where he says that's where Neverland is.
That's that. Like I say, I mean, I watch. I do. If I'm doing something, I tend to have like movie inspirational quotes on and stuff in the background on YouTube, and you can get like videos of loads of them. And there's loads of sort of the speeches where, especially like I mean Jack Nicholson in Few Good Men, or one of my favourite films of all time is Pursuit of Happiness. And don't let anybody tell you can't do something, and that sort of stuff. And then when he gets accepted in the firm, and it's like this is what happiness looks like, and there's loads, absolutely loads. The Robin Williams speech in Good Will Hunting when he's saying, have you ever seen the Sistine Chapel and all that sort of stuff, good stuff. Which is there's just so many of them. I was speaking about on the Steelbooks video about Warrior and how I love that movie. But that sort of bit at the end where the song kicks in and it's like, look, he's beaten, he's just got to accept it. And I think a lot of the scenes that sort of I think I get the most emotion out of. I think they're the ones that I enjoy the most.
See, the Warrior scene. I love Warrior as a film.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. That scene you're talking about, the end fight scene where he's popped his shoulder out, he's got him hooked into in the lock. He can't go anywhere. I think that whole lovey-dovey bit sort of takes a bit of a shine off the movie for me.
Sorry, go on, I'm listening.
So that lovey-dovey bit where he's like, I love you, and you're right, and I know it's all about bringing the brotherly love back in, but I think it just takes the shine off the fact that Tommy's just been this wrecking ball all the way through the film. And it just takes that shine off it a little bit. I know he's been beaten.
The anger. He's angry with the world, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's sort of constantly trying to prove himself, and he doesn't need to do that.
Yeah. Rocky's speech. Oh, how apt that they've not changed. They obviously never changed at the end of that.
You didn't like me much. I didn't like you much.
Yeah. You've changed. I've changed.
Yeah, you've changed. I've changed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that one. I think Rocky's speeches for me is The World Ain't All Sunshine and Rainbows. I think that sort of topped it off. I know it's towards the back end with the newer movies, but that where he's saying to his son, look, you got to, just keep going sort of thing.
That was Rocky Balboa, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you get hit and keep moving forward.
Outside of Adrian's rushes. Yeah.
Well, that's how winning is done.
Yeah.
That's probably the best speech for me out of the Rockies. I know they say there's a couple of them, like the Russia one, but that's the best one for me. But that's the sort of scenes, like I say, it's the ones that give me the most emotion. That's the ones I like.
Yeah, Lana cried at Pursuit of Happiness when he loses his Captain America.
Gladiator. Are we talking about?
We're not talking the Russell Crowe Gladiator. There,
I was going to say
Gladiator. Yeah.
I was going to say. He just. I don't know. I like that was my favourite part of the movie. Their fight, as it was all building up to that. And let's be honest, the school teacher really didn't stand much of a chance against such a big guy. Yeah, it was cool.
I think the better fight scene for me would be I can't think of the bloody the name, the character's name now, the school teacher's name. But against Cobra.
Yeah.
That was the better fight for me.
Yeah, but this was brother versus brother, man. And the fact that it didn't come out until sort of late on that they were actually brothers, like to the rest of like the public that were watching it. Shall I correct? Oh God, what was he called? Jesus, it's gone. It's gone. I mean, I decided. I was just looking then, and obviously, there's one of the movies that's blaring me in the face at the minute. Is The Impossible. You know about the tsunami. Them sort of movies are good, but like I think it's more personal when it's stuff like Warrior, where you've got the two brothers against each other.
Ladies and gents, we're going to need a homework movie. So
we could be here all fucking night at this rate.
Feel free to put a comment in the chat.
Here we go. What's he got to sell?
He's obviously got more stock to sell.
He just found one on his store that's not shifted.
Go on,
gentlemen.
Tell us what you recommend, mate. You can just give it to Lana in the morning.
I haven't even looked at my eBay store, to be honest. Just finished work.
Oh, a homework series, Catan saying. What about a homework series?
Halo.
Yes, I think the title of that series should be the Money Mental UK eBay store DVD collection.
Now, speaking of naming things, little Steve messaged me the other day saying that Lou wanted to name the subscribers something. What would come up with a nickname for the subscribers, and it come up as movie twats, and we thought, we can't do that.
That's easy. The Chatsters, aren't they?
The Chatsters.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
that's not bad. I don't know where it came from. It was just random as hell. She went, "Oh, you're going to need a name," and I was like, "Right, okay."
We know that anyone that subscribes to me is a mentalist.
Definitely.
You've got the George Ross.
What did you say? The Chatters or something? Lana.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
You've got the Chatsters, haven't you? So Chatsters, mentalists, they're both taken. Chatsters.
You sex guys. I'm just gonna.
I'm gonna get a cam.
Now, Bel Air, that's not ringing any bells with me at all. That Catan, it's not getting me excited at all.
Oh, the new Bel Air series.
Yeah.
That. There's some stuff that is. I mean, you could say that, for example, Next Generation is a remake. And that's a good remake, but there's some stuff that just is so good anyway, and it's gone on for long enough that you don't need to remake it, because you want to experience the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Watch the rerun.
Next Generation is not necessarily a remake; it was a reboot. For this Fresh Prince is technically a remake, isn't it?
To me, though, remake and reboot, there's not really that much difference between the two. It's a continuation of the franchise, isn't it? But why? Fresh Prince of Bel Air was basically as close to perfect TV as you can get.
Hey, Chris. I'm guessing it's Chris.
Any remake of it has got to at least meet that standard, if not surpass it. It feels like an impossible challenge to me.
Yeah.
Foxcatcher, that's a movie.
It's like they've remade this. They've got the How I Made Your Mother now. How I Made Your Father was like a great series. Is How I Made Your Mother successful, or is it just a cynical passion?
The other way around, wasn't it? How I Met Your Mother and now How I Met Your Father.
Probably.
Yeah.
You're probably right. Yeah. It is. It's How I Met Your Mother and How. Yeah, you're spot on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there another one? How I Met Your Father?
Yeah.
Did not know there was another one.
Yeah.
It's only the last couple of weeks it started, but yeah.
Chris is chauffeur today. Thanks, Belle.
I'm with you that I've no desire to watch it. I still watch Fresh Prince episodes now and enjoy. I mean,
yeah, I do.
You cannot top the Carlton dance. One of the greatest moments of TV history. And it's not even science fiction, which is just staggering.
Right. Okay. Who's that? Kitan. I think that's Bella. Unless Cookie's learned to type on Facebook. It's Chris's chauffeuring, so they're on the way back up north, aren't they?
Yeah, it's Mother's Weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh crap! I keep forgetting about that. I've bought nothing. I've not booked it. There's going to be nowhere for me to book a table now. I'm going to have to cook something.
So why don't you subscribe her to Movie Chats and sell her the DVD homework for next week?
I don't want to subscribe to this. Just see me loose. You're calling me a disappointment as a son.
So,
new studies available on Prolific.
You know, with his fucking tricks. So, what film are we watching then, matey? Where are we going? Which mystery tour you taking us on this week?
Have you picked a year yet?
19.
No, 2012.
2012.
Oh, fuck, well, if you're watching 2012, the film you've got to watch is 2012.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not a bad shout.
I watched that the other week.
Right, we need to pick something else.
I'm just having a look now, right?
Have a look through the year and give us one from that year then, if you're going to do that.
Oh, no. I'm looking through my DVD listings now. You've had your chance. I'll give you a film from 2012. Actually, did it come out in 2012? Did it come out in 2011?
It came out before 2012, didn't it? Because I don't think they wanted to release it the year the world was meant to end.
I reckon you should watch The Haunting of Marston Manor.
What? I've never heard of that.
Brilliant. You can both fight for it then.
Oh, God. Is it on your store? I thought, are we picking one from the bloody year or are we picking one from your eBay store?
How do you know that this didn't come out in 2012?
It doesn't have to be the year that we review and that we get the film.
Look at that lovely list in there, complete with shadows on the camera work there.
I've been told by Steve I am not to pick up other stuff, which makes next week very interesting. But also, I'm not buying anything else because the chances are by the time you've delivered it, I will not be living here.
All right. So are we going? Should we just go with 2012? The film 2012.
No. If you've already watched it recently, then definitely not.
It just means you don't need to watch a film this week.
Exactly.
Right, come on, chat. Give us some suggestions.
You've had a fantastic horror film suggested. And that's actually even in the house. So I could post it out in the morning.
Mud, that was mentioned by Kitan. 2012 Mud. I've not seen that.
All right. You want a film that came out in 2012. It's on Disney Plus, I suspect. You'll love it. John Carter.
I actually do enjoy John Carter.
You enjoyed it and he hated it. And you could have bought something from me, little Steve, but you may be.
What about A Place Beyond the Pines?
No, John Carter's your choice now. That's it.
John Carter. I do enjoy John Carter. It got really bad reviews and a bad rep, but I actually
shreds, wasn't it? Absolutely ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
There's your choice, John Carter.
There you go, Stevie.
House at the End of the Street.
John Carter.
The House at the End of the Street. Is that the one with Jennifer Lawrence?
Yeah.
That nearly got banned because of one particular scene in that film.
Let's do that one then.
No, you're doing John Carter.
Right. Are we doing John Carter or what? What's the chat say?
We're going to do John Carter. We'll do John Carter.
Shabba's saying Place at the End of the Pines. 2012 movie.
What, are we doing two, Steve? Because you did bitch and moan last week about me saying that we'll do two.
We say last week, mate, but you weren't here last week. You left me to it. You told me the week before, 5 minutes at the end. I'm not here next week.
I still watched. I had 8 pints and 2 bottles of wine, and I still watched you slag me off last week.
No, you wound it back, and then Lana.
No, I was watching that night after I finished. I watched it, and I almost did a review video, and I thought, no, I best not say that because I'm not being responsible for what I was saying. So,
You want to know the 2012 films you could have had?
Look at what you could have watched.
That reminds me. Speaking of last week, Al Matthews was the sergeant from Aliens. He was a sergeant in a previous life before he became an actor, but he did 5 films before Aliens.
Yeah.
Going back to Halo, he also voiced Sergeant Johnson in the Halo games.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we are going to go place.
You were one of my favourite characters.
Yeah, he was a sergeant in the army before he became an actor, and he just happened to fall into that role in Aliens because of.
It's just bizarre how some of these happened.
If I remember correctly, isn't it Emery's birthday today, or it would have been his birthday today?
Really?
The drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket.
Bloody hell. Lana said, "Am I live next week?" All being well, the internet's going in the same day, so if anything, we're going to struggle on the Wednesday, and then hopefully it's already installed in that property apparently. So I've just got to take my stuff and plug it in. So yeah, I should be fine for that day.
Have you done a speed check on the connection speed they're getting at the minute?
Yeah, and to be fair, I'll be worried if it wasn't that it was Virgin. To be honest.
Oh, they've got cable, have they?
Yeah.
Well, you'll be fine then, won't you?
If it was any other ones, I'd be a bit concerned. But Virgin have been all right with me even the previous properties I was in.
Do we need to start doing a wheel of movies?
It depends if we get enough options for it. To be honest, I mean, if the chat say that and we get enough options to do it, then I'm fine with that.
Right, should we set a second piece of homework then?
The second piece of homework is Place Beyond the Pines because that's what Shabba was on last week and he didn't get to.
Okay, well that's the second piece of homework for this week. Now, in the YouTube comments when the video goes live, please go on and put a movie suggestion for the wheel in the YouTube comments on this, and then I'll use those comments to build the wheel for next week.
Yeah, can do. So we got Place Beyond the Pines and John Carter.
There is of course one important criteria in that. Hang on, I'll just drop the link in the chat now. All of the movies that people select must be within this, must be available on this store that I've just dropped the link to.
No.
How are you coming into our stream and dropping your YouTube channel, your eBay store?
Well, I just think as you know, as the sponsor, the first sponsor of movie chats.
He nearly said it.
So obviously a non-financial, more of a
guys, I just
kind of sponsor.
Yeah. Fair enough, Andrew. Lana said, please like this video. I just want to say, obviously, the views that we've had recently have been great. So thank you so much, guys. Last week, you really pulled me out of it. So I do appreciate that. And then, obviously, the people that have actually sat there and watched me drone on about Steelbooks for 40 minutes, again, we really appreciate that. And obviously, Steve, with his... he was so excited, bless him, with his video today for his got to talk about Halo twice in a day.
Got to talk about Halo.
I'm gonna watch that this evening then.
Mate, you'll
be done himself out of views by mentioning it again.
Mate, you'll be amazed. I tell you. Don't forget, guys, we're also doing a Refer a Friend as well scheme. We're trying to get to 300 subs. We're currently at 169.
Stop at that number.
It's 170 now.
So we had a bit of an up and down week. We actually went down to 163. So we had a bit of an up and down week this week. So we're trying to get to 300 subs. So please refer your friends, like, subscribe, do all the good things that you do, and then we'll get there in the end. But like as Steve said, we do appreciate the watching and the views.
Oh God, 100%. It's so amazing. But like I say, we've just to sit there and I was umming and ahhing about the Steelbook one. I'd said I'd do it, and obviously David asked for it as well. So, but I just thought I had to watch it back myself just to see that I'd done it all right, and it was like, if people watch this, then great. But I've had such a response on that; it's been brilliant. So thank you guys, appreciate it.
Right, okay. So just before we finish there, because I know people will be rushing off for the 9 o'clock starts. Year for review was 2012. We have got 2 homework movies to review. One is John Carter, and the other one's A Place Behind the Pines. Steve, yeah?
Yes.
Now before I forget.
Have you seen that before? Because that's a really good movie.
Okay. Tonks' idea. It looks like we're going to go with that one then for the movie wheel. Going back to the old days. So when this video goes live on YouTube, please go back on and put your suggestions in the comments. While you're there, you might as well hit the like button as well, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And then we'll build a wheel up with your suggestions and we'll run with that for next week.
Yes.
As always, guys, it's been a pleasure.
And
enjoy your weekend, and hope you don't do anything too strenuous, and enjoy the sun while we've got it.
Oh God, yeah. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Subscribe to Money Mental UK.
Thank you, Andrew, for coming on as well, mate.
Bye-bye.